A grieving couple decide a vacation in Vietnam is just what the doctor ordered. Unfortunately, they seem to have no understanding of what a monsoon is, or what kind of damage it can cause, particularly when you're staying in a floating villa on the ocean. What could go wrong? In the case of the Requin, everything. Now, I'm not saying that the Requin is house shark levels of bad, but my house shark PTSD was definitely kicking while watching this movie. God, I hardly know where to begin. So right off the bat, one thing becomes overwhelmingly clear while watching the Requin. Most of this movie is shot in front of a green screen. It seems like they built a set for their floating villa cabin thing, and then just about every other scene in the film is shot in front of a green screen. And it gives just about every sequence in the movie this artificial look and feel. The lighting just isn't right. There's that blurry kind of discoloration around the outlines of the actors. The scaling between the actors and the foreground and the location footage in the background looks off. The underwater stuff is really poorly done. The scaling is way off. The backgrounds look much bigger than the actors when they're underwater. Then the actors move closer to the camera, but the background remains the same size. It looks like a bad cutscene from a video game, but not a video game from 2022, a video game from 2002. What little actual on-location footage we get features two not very convincing stand-ins for Alicia Silverstone and her husband. Aside from the wonky green screens, this movie just doesn't make a lick of sense. For instance, Alicia Silverstone's character suffered a miscarriage while attempting a tub birth, so she's got PTSD when it comes to water, the sight of blood, and the sight of blood in water. So why would you go to a tropical island for vacation and stay in a floating villa? A villa that's floating on the ocean. That's like saying, yeah, I had this horrible skiing accident when I was a kid and it almost killed me. And whenever I see snow now, I have a total breakdown, but hey, let me call you back. I got to finish packing for my vacation in Aspen. Then you have Alicia and her husband literally sleeping on a monsoon. They're actually warned by the resort staff that a monsoon is coming and that if they want to move for the night so that they're not sleeping on a floating room in the ocean during the monsoon, then that can be arranged. But they're just like, nah, we're good. There's a sequence in which Alicia and her husband, and yes, I know their characters had names, but I don't remember them and I'm not looking them up. Anyway, they're adrift in the middle of the ocean when they see a ship off in the distance. Now, how would you choose to try and get the attention of this ship? Well, of course, like any sane person, you would set fire to what's left of your floating cabin, hoping that someone on the ship in the distance will see the smoke. Oh, hey, come here. One other little tidbit. You know how they're in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by water? Do you think they used any of that water to try and put the fire out? They try beating the flames down with a sheet. I'm not making this up. These people deserve to be eaten by sharks. And no, The Requin is not a shark movie. I don't care what the artwork for the film looks like. We don't even see a shark until around the 1 hour mark. But yes, there are sharks. The sharks attack and the sharks cause bloodshed. But the sharks, CGI sharks, really bad CGI sharks, look ridiculous. There's a sequence toward the end of the film in which a shark launches itself out of the water a good 300 feet or so up in the air. Then it hovers there and begins to sail toward Alicia Silverstone an additional 300 feet or so. And the shark looks about the size of, I don't know, a Greyhound bus. And it's so bad and so ridiculous that I figured this has to be a dream sequence. The shark is going to sail directly at Alicia. We'll see it from her point of view as the shark's gaping mouth just approaches her, and then we'll get a smash cut to black. Alicia's going to wake up, and this will all have been just a fever dream. And you know what? If that had been the case, I'd been okay with it. I would have walked away from the Requin and immediately have forgotten it. But that's not the case. There's another sequence in which Alicia is attacked by the Greyhound bus-sized shark in what appears to be ankle-deep water. But the CGI is so bad, and then they lay in bad CGI fog over top of everything as if to conceal just how bad the CGI shark looks. So you've got bad CGI on top of bad CGI, and I couldn't make heads or tails of what the hell was going on. Then Alicia finds some sort of island. She climbs this rock formation and discovers a fisherman, and somehow ends up on his boat back out in the middle of the ocean. And because this poor bastard just wanted to help her, now he's being attacked and eaten by the shark. But this is honestly the best scenes in the movie because they're absolutely hilarious. The guy is crying out to Alicia in Vietnamese to help him, and then he's like yelling at her while the shark is actually eating him. And I can just imagine that the translation would be something to the effect of, "Thanks a lot." This is definitely not Alicia Silverstone's finest hour. I know you're supposed to like her and feel bad for her and root for her and want her to overcome and conquer and all that. But, oy vey, her character is so painfully annoying. And for a movie that's not even 90 minutes in length, my God, it felt like it went on for days. The Requin is not a shark movie. It's a disaster movie. I mean, it's a disaster of a movie. The Requin is not a survival movie. It's a movie that you have to survive. And that ain't easy. Avoid the Requin at all costs. If you've seen the Requin, I know your pain. Let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care. And until next time, don't watch this movie. Save yourself. It's too late for me. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.